Thanks everyone for tuning in. Another episode of Seriously Butthurt Sports. We're talking baseball. We got a new co-host with us today. Let's kick it. All right, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Another episode, Seriously Butthurt Sports Baseball. We are talking everything baseball today. So first I have to say something. The New York Yankees that I saw last week playing the Rays do not deserve to be in the playoffs. They do not deserve to win their 28th World Series championship. They looked like the most amateur team that I've ever seen in my life. I think that Boone is a horrible manager. To have Tachman taken out for Andujar because you like the matchup better on two guys that you have very little analytics on. I think I got 4 text messages. Tachman taken out for Andujar. Absolutely pitiful. You know what? This weekend off was the best thing that could have happened to the Yankees. They got to regroup themselves and get their shit together. What's up, Frankie?
How's it going?
How's it going? How's the Mets?
The Mets are in a rain delay as we're recording, and they're already down 4-0 with Porcello on the mound. So the Mets are picking up. I guess I can't say they're picking up where they left off because they were kicking the Marlins' ass when they were left off. So now that they're back to their old self. So they only needed a weekend to take a break from that. You know?
Yeah. Let's ease your suffering a little bit. And we got a new guy. Chris Harshaggy, one of our old-time boys. I think there's a picture of you and Frank in a bathtub together one time, right? When you were kids. What's up, Chris?
What's going on? Yeah, I mean, there's several pictures of us in bathtubs together. Sorry I was late to the meeting, guys. There's a lot of traffic on Route 80, so just recently moved. So glad to be here. Thank you guys for letting me join.
Yeah, thanks. If you're watching on YouTube, there's no doubt you can see who his allegiance is to. It is the New York Yankees. So what are your other teams there, Chris?
Well, for the NBA, I mean, it's been awful, but got to go with the Knicks. Number 8 pick. I don't know, man. It's not looking good for the future, but hey, still got to support my New York teams. For the MLS, I like my Red Bulls, very local team. We'll see how we're going to be doing. And then for European soccer, I'm a huge AC Milan fan. Got to go with Ibra, my boy, the GOAT. Very excited, ended the season off very well, so definitely excited for the future for AC Milan. And then definitely over on the football side, I gotta go with the Jets.
And you leave that for last?
Yeah, I had to.
He started off strong, and then he said the Knicks and the Jets over there.
He tried to sprinkle in good, bad. It didn't really work out too well.
Let's put it this way: my fantasy football teams always do better than the Jets. So, I mean, it's been really awful.
Any team does better than the Jets, except the Knicks.
there's not a lot of precedent for that, so you don't have much. But thanks for hopping on with us. And like I said, we're rotating guys in. Oh, look, he's got a koozie too. Look at this guy.
Yeah, thank you. Number 1 listener, and thank you for letting me join it. Yeah, got the koozie before Frank got it.
All right, guys. So let's kick it into high gear and let's talk about some baseball. So let's go over to the West, and your typical things are going on. I think you have Mookie Betts who is just absolutely making his paycheck. Every game that he plays, he's just killing it. So I mean, with no surprise, you have the Dodgers at the top in the NL West at 22-8. They are the team to beat. The pesky Padres. You have Tatis Jr. But before I go there, I want to talk a little bit about Mookie Betts and what he's done this season. So he leads the team in hits with 33, runs scored 25, home runs 11, 24 RBIs, and 5 stolen bases. I mean, the guy's just an animal. And then you have Tatis Jr., who, we talked about the last week with the Grand Slam controversy, which isn't really a controversy. Batting .314, 6 stolen bases, 12 home runs, 29 RBIs, just absolutely crushing it. And then another National League guy, you have Charlie Blackmon, who's also just killing it. He's slumping of late. That batting average coming down a little bit, 405. That OPS still above 1. So he is just another one. I wouldn't be surprised if he would be the NL MVP. And then you have in the AL West, you have the Athletics. They are no surprise, 20-10. 13-4 at home. Their away record's a little scary, but they're 6-4 for their last 10. The Astros are coming back a little bit, 7-3 in their last 10, still 16-13 for the year. 3.5 games back. They can eat dog shit for all I care. Altuve, we talked about Altuve, who just can't get it right. I don't know what your guys' take is on Altuve. I know we keep talking about him and giving him notoriety, but
I'm done talking about him.
Okay.
Yeah. Missing the trash can. That's all I'm gonna say. Misses the trash can. That whole team.
Yep, definitely. So hopefully when they play the Rangers, the Rangers can beat up on them a little bit and drop them.
Not with that 11-17 record.
Oh, yeah, but another surprise that I think we were talking about on our first show. I think some people had the Angels somewhere in the playoffs, if I am not mistaken.
Who was that?
I believe it was you. I believe it was you.
We're gonna have to go back to the tape.
I think we're
Let's
gonna
rerun the tape. You gotta have to rerun the tape. I remember that.
Rewind the tape. So so that's kind of the West. Anything to add? You guys got on the West that I missed? I think I talked about all the hot players and the red hot Dodgers.
The only thing I would add is if you look at the Rockies' last 10 games, they're 2-8. And if you look at the Rangers' last 10 games, they're 2-8. I mean, that's pretty bad if you're trying to win a playoff spot in 60 games.
Yeah, without a doubt, especially with the way that the Rockies started the season. I mean, they were red hot. They were I think 12-2. And then all of a sudden now they have that big losing streak. They just look like an awful team, like we always knew they were. Something to add in the AL West. I mean, Mike Trout and the Angels. I mean, he was just better off just opting out of the season. It's just I agree. It's just awful. And then you got Ohtani, big hype coming in from Japan, and then it's just been he got rocked his last outing, and it's not looking good for the Angels. So I mean, it's not a surprise that they're in the bottom of the AL West.
He's hurt too, right? I don't think he's ever going to pitch again, to be honest with you.
I mean, I don't know if those types of players can ever withstand an MLB season. It's definitely different coming from Japan to the MLB. It's a big transition, different ball, different whole ball game in general. So, I mean, I really don't think that his play transitions well. He should better off just fielding outfield balls,
Yeah. I mean, when he was coming for a contract, I was like, stay out west. I don't even want you in New York. Because I knew I knew exactly what was going to happen. So I predicted it right, just like I predicted the Athletics to take the AL West.
Did you predict Stanton getting hurt as much as he did?
I did not want him. I did not want him because I knew he was always going to be hurt.
Yeah. But you love Judge, though.
We will talk about that. We'll talk
we'll
about
have,
that.
we have plenty of time for that.
Hey, I gotta throw my little jabs here. You know, I'm
I can
outnumbered.
tell.
I like at every show, I'm outnumbered over here.
That's
I mean,
okay.
it's typical coming from a Mets fan, right? Especially after what's going on with this season. And come on, to put on top, you got people, getting tested positive for the coronavirus. Come
Hey,
on,
the Mets
man.
did
I
it
mean,
right,
come
okay?
on. Let's come
Mets did it
on.
right. They can't catch a winning streak here, but they can catch COVID.
They can get you cold.
That's 2020 for you.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, Frankie, what do you got for the Central?
All right, so Central here. We're gonna start off with the NL. We're gonna do Cubs are in first place. They're 5-5 their last 10 games. Their column is 18 wins, 10 losses, so they're sitting at top pretty. Next one on the list is the Cardinals, 10-8, and then you're gonna round that out with the Brewers, 12-15, which is a little bit surprised. I thought they were gonna be way better than what their record shows right now, but we're about halfway through the season. They're not too far under 500, so I think they are in a position that they can turn the Jets on. However, there is talk about maybe moves happening during this trade deadline. However, the Brewers were in the playoffs last year, and it doesn't seem like they're going to make it with this record right now. So the general manager David Stern, he's got to have a tough decision. Either you're gonna call this season a wash and try to aim for next season, or you're gonna try to go and pick up a couple players and try to turn this thing around. So let's start off with the Cubs. I want to talk to them about them a little bit. So you have Javier Baez is still starting to look like himself now. He started off the season slow, but he's starting to, I guess, halfway and needed to warm up a little bit. Then you have the two starters, Chatwood and Quintanilla, and they're going to return from the IL. So those are two big starters for the Cubs. So you can kind of see that they're going to get a couple more wins in that win column over there. And then you have, with the Cardinals, at this point,
Never not play another game.
the Cardinals. Well, yeah, you can see right there they got 18 games played in total, and the Cubs have 18 wins. So I mean, so speaking of that, and speaking of COVID, so their starter Carlos Martinez had COVID, and one of the big questions is when is he going to come back? So the latest I read on that was he's starting to, I guess, throw simulated games and stuff like that
In the alt site.
And their plan right now for him to return is probably start him in the bullpen. So look for that. I don't think the Cardinals are going to go far this year anyways, but that's my opinion.
Do you think once they start playing again regularly that the Brewers will catch up and there'll be more of a race between the Cubs and the Brewers? I mean, how many games are...
You think the Cardinals are going to drop down to third?
Mm-hmm.
I can see that happening. Definitely could see that happening. But
I wasn't sold on them last year.
No, they were mediocre last year. And I believe, they knocked out Atlanta last year, didn't they?
They swept them, yeah.
They swept them, and then they got knocked out the next round. So I don't know.
I mean,
the Brewers.
Did you guys see
500?
Did you guys see in St. Louis with speaking with the Cardinals, Yadier Molina had to delete his Instagram post. That he tested positive for the coronavirus, and then now he had to delete an Instagram post with him and a whole group of family pictures. So that doesn't look good for the Cardinals going forward.
No. And then, you can see that with the Marlins also. There's always these pictures. There's always these, these articles that come out that say what these people are doing. They're breaking protocol here. And that's why you see a mass spread of the virus. And maybe
Jeter
that's
says,
why,
don't blame my players unless you know the truth.
Well, he's a Yankee, so you can't trust them. So.
Whoa.
So, all right, let's move over to the AL Central. So the Twins, first place in the AL Central. You have Nelson Cruz and you have Miguel Sano. The articles that I'm reading, I think it's a little too soon, but they're calling them the Bash Brothers. Those two guys are really carrying that team right now. And you got the White Sox, which we kind of predicted in the beginning of the season that I thought they were going to win the division. I thought they were going to be like the black horse here. And, they're making a good run for it. They're not too far behind. They're 2.5 games behind as we stand right now. And Abreu was named the player of the week last week. So, he's definitely a big piece to that team. And then you have the Indians, which I think the Indians have the same record as the White Sox, but you also have to see that the Indians do not have Frank Cone. And Frank Cone's going to miss, I believe, 17 games now of the 2020 season because he has some gastro problems, and I think, just had a surgery like about a week ago on that. So I believe the Indians are hurting without him, and that kind of shows you how good of a coach he is.
Was that shitters full kind of thing?
Who knows? But I don't like to make fun of people. Who knows what the hell this guy has. But.
Gee,
No, and you don't like making fun of people.
I don't like making fun of people.
Oh,
Okay.
man.
Okay.
It could be serious, man. You never had the shits? Come on.
I have the. No, I get you. I get you. But you are a hypocrite. But that's okay.
Whatever. So are you.
Sure. Very true. Yeah. I mean, I'm not surprised. I mean, I don't think that's a very strong division, but I do think in the coming years, the White Sox, how they really rebuilt that team, like over this postseason, they're really going to expose the Twins for really who they are. I'm just
Correct.
not.
I don't think anybody was giving the Twins a real run for their money.
Well, they can't win a playoff game.
Well, they can't win a game against a real serious team, so.
All right.
I think Tampa Bay can knock them out.
Oh,
Tampa Bay.
You heard my rant, right? All right. Anything else we got there? We're moving on to the East. Christopher, take it away,
guys. All right, we'll start in the NL East with Frank's perfect Mets sitting there at a beautiful 12-14. 3.5 games back. Right now
3
it's
games.
Huge. Well, sorry, 3 games. So with the
Get it
Braves
right
now. Well, listen, soon it's going to be even worse. So they're not.
Today they'll be 4 games behind. Don't worry.
Yeah. So with the Braves right now, huge series against the Yankees. They're sitting there at 16-12. Guys, I think it's still the Braves division. Acuna's back. We'll see what happens with the wrist. Just got activated off the IL. You can see their last 10 games. Sitting there 5-5. I don't know. I don't believe in the Marlins. They're 12-11. You guys know they keep catching COVID. I don't believe in them at all. Then you got the Mets, 12-14. Frank, what's going on? We got to give some love to DeGrom, man. I mean, every time he's on the mound, I feel like they can't even score 1 run to win a game.
Well, they'll score 1 run and then Diaz will blow it in the 9th.
Yeah, but still, I mean, come on, 1 run.
Speaking of like
1 run.
Speaking of like, I don't wish bad upon people. I told Michelle the other day when I heard that the COVID was breaking out and there was a player and a coach. I said, I hope it was Diaz was the one player. I'm going to hell.
Rewind about 4 minutes and you'll probably hear where I was bashed for making fun of somebody's illness, which is wrong. But this one, wishing a pandemic disease on somebody. Yeah, real nice.
He'll survive it. What is the survival rate on this thing?
All right, well.
Here we go.
Different show.
Well, your team's pretty shitty when Yoenis Cespedes has to leave and opt out without even telling the team. But that was for the other segment. But
hey, you're a week late on that.
Yeah, you're a week late on that. And I think that speaks more to the player than the team.
Absolutely, I agree with that. And I hate the Mets, so.
Well, like I said, a little late to the party, but I still think that's kind of shitty when you had to leave a team like that. But anyway, you got the Nationals, which I think, defending champs, lost a couple good pieces, and now you're sitting there in fourth place. Don't count them out, guys. Don't count them out. Do I think that they make a playoff push? Definitely not. Not at 11 and 15 in this shortened period. We still got the trade deadline. There's a lot of rumors going around that they're going to make some moves, but I just don't see that happening. And then you can see their, big series going on right now, Phillies Nationals. The Phillies are getting hot. Got my boy Didi. Didi's doing all right. I don't know how that's going to shape out, but I just think, all in all, guys, the Braves are just going to take the division. To me, I'm going to call it right now. You're looking at your NL champions. Just saying it. NL champions.
Huh?
They're going to win the pennant.
Not with that starting rotation.
I agree.
We'll see.
We said in the sorry, Chris. We could recap and keep going. Go ahead.
Well, then we'll go AL East. My Yankees. I mean, how many ILs? How many IL spots do you guys get? I mean, I don't even know what's going on. You got Torres hurts. I mean, Sanchez came and hit a beach ball. Yes, he had a couple home runs, but I mean, come on, for your starting catcher, guys, it's not looking good. And going with you, Nick, definitely questioning Aaron Boone's decisions. Do you really think that it was Aaron Boone last year making all those decisions, and after all these players getting hurt to make it that far? But this year, with everything that's going on, it's just showing exactly that it was the players and it wasn't Aaron Boone. I think.
But it was also the brilliance of Brian Cashman as well, to have all those reserves and build up that farm system.
We paid all that money for Cole, and look, what I'm saying, he's on the mound. We need to get a win. Like, we have to get a win here. But we'll keep going, as it relates to that. But you got the Rays right there. Right now, I mean, you may be looking at your division winner in the Rays, the way that they're playing. Blake Snell's lights out. I don't know, man. It's just not looking good for the Yankees with the starting rotation. You got, everyone besides Cole at a +6 ERA. You can't win, even with that bullpen. And in that bullpen, you just lost Britton and Caney. You can't. You got Chapman coming back, but he has COVID, so we'll see what happens with him. But I mean,
he's still on gas.
I don't know, guys. I don't know.
Isn't Aaron Judge coming back too?
He's activated. He was activated today.
That's a big part that you guys have been missing too.
Yeah, and DJ LeMahieu. You forgot about DJ, unless you said it.
No, DJ's hurt. With the Yankees, they're live and die by the long ball. You're really missing those guys like a LeMahieu that could spread the ball throughout the field. You know what I'm saying? That could hit anywhere in the ballpark. With their on base percentage. Now you're running with Estrada, Wade. I mean, with Andujar as well. It's a crowded infield, even with the depth that they had. I mean, guys, do we really miss Didi on that team? I mean, I think it's really showing the hole with that left-handed batter. I mean, sure, he's not that, doesn't have that great on base percentage. Lives and dies by the home run ball.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's just that your lineup looks a lot different when you had that extra lefty. I don't think Torres looks as defensively in shortstop like he did in second base. But are you really going to move? If DJ comes back, we'll see how his his thumb is and wrist is. You're really going to take Voit, who's smashing the ball? You really think you can take him out of the lineup, even with the DH spot with a healthy, quote unquote, Stanton and Judge? I mean, it's tough all around for that decision. But I think especially me, I really miss Didi with everything that's coming up. But
I think Glaber will come into his own. I think it's his natural position, but I think he's trying to press too much this season for some reason. You could just see it. His timing's all off in his swing. He's just not having good at bats. I don't know. I can't put my thumb on it exactly what it is, but he's just not himself. He's not the Gleyber Torres of last year, who was just so impressive. I mean, the kid hit how many home runs last year? 30-something home runs. But
He's got that sophomore year.
he's got a slump. Yeah, he's got that slump.
That sophomore
and you know
year
what?
slump.
And you know what? What better season to have that slump? I'll take it.
What do you mean? What better season? You guys are trying to win a World Series this year.
Well, I mean, anything can happen. I mean, you look at you have the friggin' Marlins at the top of the NL East.
Yes, but reality's hitting them. Look at their last 10 games, 3-7.
Yeah, who are they playing today again? Who are they winning against?
They're playing a doubleheader today, which is probably going to be 5-7. 5-5 actually.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
So yeah, and then you have the slum of the bottom anyway.
The Phillies. So to Chris's point, so if people didn't know this, last year, if they had done a 60-game season last year, the Nationals would have not been in the playoffs last year. The Nationals had a really slow start.
Well, which start of the season are you counting? Are you starting the first half or the second half?
First half.
Oh, yeah, the first half, yeah, definitely not.
And then the second half, I mean, that's when they really turned it on. And I mean, Soto is just a beast on that team, but they lost pieces there, and I thought that was going to hurt them. So
it's really showing.
Yeah,
it's really showing there. And then now with Strasburg out, I mean, you're really going to call it done. That's it. That's it for Nationals.
Yeah,
that's what it gets for chirping out the umpire, and they kick him out in the stands.
Did you see that game where Cole was pitching, and I think it was tie game. He had 2 on, and Boone came out, and he fought. He put up a fight. He didn't want to come out of the game. And then when he got to the dugout, he was throwing shit around, and he was amped up. It reminds me of that time when Mike Messina told Joe Torre to sit your ass down. I would have liked to see Cole do that, but different game. I guess you gotta listen to the signs and listen to your manager, or your proxy manager, we'll call him.
Yeah, well, I mean, listen, Boone isn't going anywhere anytime soon. So
he's got the keys to the Ferrari.
Yeah, I mean, it's
going to be perfect yes man.
Yep, that's why Girardi's out.
Correct.
Yeah, I mean, Girardi got that 2009, right? And after that, what happens? Nothing. Nothing happened. Got
they were
the 2009
bloated.
World Series, and then that was it. I mean, now you got Aaron Boone. Yeah, 1 game away. Trash can. Well, you know what? Altuve definitely with the buzzard, but listen, different segment, different time. Other than that, now we're gonna watch Boone make these fucking bonehead decisions for the next 4 years. If that, we'll see how it goes. I mean, we'll see how free agency goes with Aaron Judge coming in for maybe contract talks. Now, guys, should we re-sign him? And how much money?
I said last week that the next big Yankee contract, if he stays on this trajectory that he's on, is Gio Urshela. I don't think Aaron Judge gets as much money. I think he'll get a contract from the Yankees. I think it'll be a sympathy contract, but I don't think it's going to be a lot of money. Who's going to pay him Mike Trout money?
I think the Yankees should go and sit him down and try to buy him out at a discount at this point.
But then then he signs with somebody. Let's say goes into the Red Sox and has a great season. I mean,
I'm saying to keep him. I think they should. I think they should offer him maybe like what they did with Hicks over here, because Hicks gets hurt too. So I think the Yankees go and they give him a couple of year contract over here and try to get him at a discount. So. I mean, maybe he's going to be playing half the games each season, but, those half of games, you're kind of taking a risk over there,
I mean, any team that decides to pay him big money, it's a waste. It's a waste. He's always hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I was talking with Nick prior, and these 10 years, 13 years contracts, I mean, it doesn't work out. There's – yes, you have a few. I mean, listen, look at Harper. Harper's not playing to his contract. Trout almost opting out for this season. I mean, granted, he's the best player in baseball.
What do you mean
by
Harper's
far.
not going to play to his contract?
I'm saying he's not playing to the player that they signed him to be. He's not.
He didn't play last year, but this year he's doing pretty good for the Phillies.
Yeah, but I don't think he's Harper. That's Harper. That's Trout money. I
No,
still don't believe he's the best player in baseball.
He's nowhere near Trout's level. I agree
No.
with you there, but I do feel that Harper is coming to his own this season. I know it is a 60-game season, but like you said, the 13 years, towards the end of that 13 years, it's almost going to be like Cano with the Mets. I mean,
That's what I'm saying. Is
Mets
you
are
have
just so stupid for taking that contract.
Yeah, I mean, you have and like the A-Rod contract, and like speaking of A-Rod, Albert Pujols passed his RBI record, so he's a stats accumulator anyway. So he'll
When
be in
you've
the
been in
hall.
the game as long as Pujols has, I mean,
He'll
I feel
be
like
in he'll be in the Hall of Fame anyway. But you know, we're gonna look at him 20 years from now and say he was a stat accumulator. So
correct.
All
He's
right.
definitely not the player he was.
Nope.
No. I mean,
No,
now that
he's old as hell.
it benefits from the DH position down in the Angels, right? I mean, he wouldn't be doing the same thing with the Cardinals. So definitely not the same player. Definitely aging player, but congratulations to Albert Pujols. We'll see. Hopefully, first ballot Hall of Famer. Definitely not unanimous. Definitely not like the guy behind you, Nick. Derek Jeter.
He wasn't unanimous.
That one vote.
Yeah, you know what? That's okay, because I already said. Well, you know my opinion on David Wright. So anyway,
hey, you know what? This might be a good segment for our next segment here.
What's that? David Wright versus someone's butt hurt. Yeah. so someone's butt hurt. The segment of the week. I mean, it goes to me. it goes to the Yankee fandom. I think this last series really put a sour taste in our mouths. I know we talked about it in the beginning. I ranted on it. Christopher talked about it a little bit. So no need to beat that dead horse. But next segment that I had lined up, I want to talk about fans in the stands and a playoff bubble that we're hearing talks of. And my man Aaron Judge said, "No way. The man needs to be in a bubble, but he doesn't want to play in a playoff bubble." Chris, what's your take on fans in the stands and a playoff bubble?
I think a playoff bubble is needed. I mean, I don't know what you guys feel about that. I think the playoff bubble's there. Listen, with the way that the playoff goes, I mean, what do you have? You have now seeds 1 through 8. Basically, there's no essentially you got a home field advantage. I gotta look at that, but I think just to keep the players safe and keep it going, you gotta have those satellite sites. I'm in for the playoff bubble. No more risk. Let's just get the season going. To finish it off. I'm in for the playoff bubble. As far as fans in the stands,
I know your take on that now.
Listen, I don't know. I don't know about fans in the stands right now. I think I might speak at the other side of my voice, my mouth. Sorry, but I think what is it? Social distancing. It's 6 feet. How many sections do you have in a stadium? I think you could pull it off. I mean, guys, the stadium could fit 50,000 people. You figured what? You had your satellites in Miami, maybe Tampa. You got out west. You could do a satellite LA. I mean, come on, playoff baseball LA. You could definitely split out different sections to have fans in there. I'm not opposed to that, but I definitely would like to see a playoff bubble being enforced.
Well, I'm going to challenge you on that then. If there's a playoff bubble and you're going to have fans in the stands, I don't want anything to do with it. Because that's bullshit. That's home field advantage. Especially you have the Dodgers. You have to have a neutral site.
Well, look at the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? Super Bowl's played at a
yeah, but that's one game.
Site.
What, are you gonna fly out to LA to go watch the Yankees play?
Yeah, why not? Let's go. Come on,
You'll,
let's go.
you'll be quarantined for 14 days when you come back. All right. All right. Frankie, what do you say?
Um, I think if they didn't expand the playoff teams that can get into the playoffs, I would say you can do a bubble. But because there's so many teams into it now, uh, I don't think you get that until I would say you could make a bubble at the quarterfinals or NLDS and ALDS, the division series. I think at that point, you go and you play for, you play in a bubble. As of people in the fans in the stands, Japan's doing it. They did it. So I don't know why they can't. And I believe like if you go to like these local baseball teams like the Jackals and stuff like that,
They
they're
started
allowing
back up.
yeah, they're allowing fans in the stands. So if a
Dollar
minor
beer
league team,
nights.
huh?
Dollar beer nights.
beer.
Oh yeah,
We should
Dollar
do
beer.
we should do it. We should do an old time dollar beer night.
yeah. So I mean, like if a minor league team can do it, why can't a major league team do it? So
Yeah, I definitely agree with the fans in the stands. I think by that time, I think we should hopefully have a vaccine, and I think I think it all depends on that. I think where we are in this recovery madness, and what the pandemic's looking like at that time. I'm not really for a bubble because I really do think it's home field advantage in terms of the ballparks, in terms of the layout of the ballparks. These players play at this ballpark a majority of the season, and they know their ballpark. It definitely plays to the Yankees' advantage when they're,
as safety is concerned, I do think the bubble works. Though I mean, you can see it through the NBA and the hockey. So I
Yeah.
mean, safety wise, you also have to ask yourself: do you risk putting a pause on the playoffs if a team comes down with COVID?
It's true.
So do you want to take that risk or do you not? So I think that's what you have to ask yourself as well.
Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't look at it that way in the sense of like, well, look at the Cardinals and the mess that they're in. Yeah, I agree. I think
I mean, would you like it? No, but are you okay with it? I think you are.
Maybe you make the bubble in two hometowns of teams that did not make the playoffs. Makes it neutral.
Yeah, you put it in
Or
a
you
neutral
could do
site.
what
I mean,
Cuomo was asked for and put it in New York.
For what?
Well, if you put it in New York, you got two stadiums right, within miles within each other, so you limit it to one city. You're not in, I don't think, I don't know, maybe you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't know where else you can have that in the United States that you have two stadiums so close to each other.
Well, you probably have Milwaukee and Chicago
Okay.
that are pretty close.
Yeah. But New York also
And the Dodgers and the Angels.
And the Angels.
yeah,
Mhm.
Dodgers and Angels. But you also have New York City that can host this amount of people there also.
And there's also the hotbed for the coronavirus.
Not in New York anymore. New York is that's why Cuomo says, that's why we're quarantining everybody that comes into New York. So, I mean, that, like I said, that's just, I don't think we're going to get to that point, but that I think is food for thought.
Yeah, I don't know when they're going to decide that or what they're doing. I mean, Manfred's a bum, so, whatever he does, I'm not going to agree with anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
Okay, that's because you like to go against the grain anyways.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. All right. So what else we got to talk about? Anything else on your mind? Well, actually, first, so there is a soccer episode that's out there that Frankie and Anthony did over the weekend, recapping, or they recapped the quarterfinals of the Champions League, and they are going to recap the finals of the Champions League coming up with a teaser that we have something else in the works for the fall in terms of soccer. So you'll have to listen to the soccer special that you guys are doing, right? You're going to do it sometime this week?
Yes, it should drop sometime this week. I have to make a schedule with him.
Okay.
And so yeah, we're gonna go over what our thoughts were on the final with Bayern Munich and PSG. Thought of both teams' performance, and then we're probably gonna give you guys an update on what the hell's going on with Messi. So stay tuned. That should be a good episode, I think.
Yeah, that's huge. Messi wants to leave Barcelona. I mean, wow. You got Ronaldo in the Serie A, and now you're gonna have Messi leaving. What's that gonna leave with La Liga? So I can't wait for you guys to expand upon that.
Oh yeah, and we're both La Liga fans, so I'm sure we're both gonna be bitching about that. So
Yeah, well, you're usually bitching about something anyway, but
that's the nature of the game.
it's the nature of the game. We also have a hockey episode that Ralph and his boy Zach did. We dropped that a couple nights ago on the results of the quarterfinals of the hockey playoffs. So, we're coming at you with all sports, and football's gearing up. We're gonna have a crew to talk about football. I think whatever that football season looks like. Chris is a big football fan. So hopefully we get him in on some football and some more baseball too coming up.
Yeah, I think we're looking. We're
Chris.
looking for a couple people to hop in there too, right? I mean, Ryan, he did an episode with us. He should be on that.
Yeah, Ryan will be on that.
yeah,
Steve,
yeah, so-
one of our behind the scenes guys. Steve is gonna. You're going out of focus there. That's weird.
I know it's going crazy.
I
I was
just-
messing with all these settings before this.
It just caught my eye.
That's a DSLR, huh? And my green screen's going a little wacky.
I think that there's a storm out there. Something's pretty dark out there.
Yeah.
We have a lot of things coming up. So we have a robust schedule. It's going to be pretty hectic for the team, but we're gonna power through it, and we're gonna try to bring you everything that we possibly can. And if there's something that we're not covering that you want, well, let us know and you can run it. Let's see, Frank. Anything else?
Yeah. I want to talk about Matt Harvey. All
Okay.
right. So the Kansas City Royals went and the Dark Knight. So, me as a Mets fan, I don't want to see this guy have success. Maybe it's messed up on my part, but I don't want to see this guy have success
Why
anywhere
do you
else.
keep caveating with it's messed up? It's how you feel. Own it.
Yeah, I wish
Don't
this guy
be seriously
retires.
butthurt.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, you're really seriously
seriously
butthurt
butthurt
about
right
that.
So, as if anybody does not know, the Kansas City Royals went and signed Matt Harvey free agency. He pitched a little over 3 innings, gave up 3 runs. The biggest key to that was he was pitching 95 miles per hour fastball, which he has not had in a couple years, and I think that's why people have released him. And I think that's a big contribution to why he's had all these problems. He was at a 54 pitch limit, and by the time he was done pitching, his fastball dropped down to 91 miles per hour. So, can he pitch a full 6 innings and give him a quality start? I don't know. And I think this is why he should have accepted him being in a bullpen setting and not a starter at this point. So, I think it's his stubbornness. I don't like that he's a selfish player. And what got to me was that the Kansas City Royals coach went and said, "Oh, he looked fantastic. I was very surprised by him."
Why are they feeding his ego?
I don't know. I mean, he threw 3 innings, gave up 3 runs. How is that fantastic? Why? Because he threw a 95 miles per hour fastball? So does Diaz, and he sucks.
Okay.
So that's my rant.
Before I throw it to you, Chris, I saw this tweet right before we came on by a giant legend, Plaxico Perez.
No, God.
Yes.
Let him
Did you guys
shoot
see this?
himself again.
No, he didn't. He didn't shoot himself, but he might as well have shot us. Everyone else. He I can't even say it with a straight face. He signed up for an OnlyFans.
I think I saw this.
And if you don't know what an OnlyFans is, don't Google it, because this is a
Nope.
kid show. It is an adult entertainment website where they take nude pictures. And yep, well, Plaxico said, "Enjoy, everyone."
Jesus Christ. I will not be looking that up.
I will not be either. Don't worry. Well, Chris,
that happens when you lose all those $1 million. I mean, you got the Super Bowl, and that's really about it. That's all you hear from Plaxico.
You think he lost some brain cells with that gunshot wound that he had? I
mean,
he
shot him in the leg. I mean, come
CTE too.
Yeah. I mean, he's not as bad as like Antonio Brown. So, if he wants that, it's America. You can do whatever you want. Capitalism. I just won't partake. Chris, give us some final thoughts.
Well, final thoughts. Big, like I said, I think, like I called it, guys. Atlanta Braves, watch out for them. I think they're going to beat the Dodgers.
It on purpose. I'm
saying it.
I think he's just trying to get under his skin.
He's trying to get to under my skin here.
I mean,
I had him third in that division, didn't I?
Yeah, I think so. Go ahead, Chris.
That's my new take. Atlanta Braves, Cuna's back. They're going to take it. Sorry, Dodgers. Not winning this one. Trash can or not. Sorry, Braves.
Okay.
Sign me up.
All right. Well, thanks, Chris, for joining us this week. Hope you had fun. Got the nerves out by the end. Good job. I think you did a good job. So we'll definitely have you back. Frankie, thanks as always. Get to producing.
Yeah. Hopefully next time I'll fix this webcam so it stops focusing and going in and out.
I personally liked your previous background, but
I'm gonna go in the condo. I'm just gonna pick a new area every week and see if you guys can just maybe we'll map out the whole condo by the end of this podcast.
Yep. And then pertaining to baseball, we have something really cool coming up in the next couple of weeks, and I'm just gonna tease that too, and pertains to baseball. So you'll just have to stay tuned to see what that is. So with that, thanks everyone for tuning in.